So the key principle that I'd like to share also is that the iceberg. What we see is just the tip of the iceberg. Within you and me, with other people, we can see this is the appearance. But beyond a person's appearance, something lies within. The background of a person, where did he come from? What happened to him? What were his struggles? Did he have any training? Did he have any mentorship, any coaching? Did someone teach him the proper way or not? Did he have a good upbringing? Did he have good values and virtues? If not, there's always a chance for us to change, for us to learn the right way. So the key principle really is to dig deep inside us, look inside us. What do we need to change in ourselves? Because that is the preparation for us to become a leader. We can always know the tools, technologies, procedure, processes. They're easy to learn. But it's not easy to change. It's not easy to be confident. It's not easy to say I can face anything heads on. It's not easy. So we need to prepare. I mentioned earlier that I had a chance to work with lots of people, and it's not just within my own country, but also in different countries. Fortunately, I was able to travel to more than 15 countries and work with all the regions and continents, regions in globally for regions, work with different professionals from entry level, mid, senior to leadership level, the C-suites. And looking at, I look at the different great leaders that I saw, I worked with. And these are the top 3 characteristics that I really saw from a true leader. Like I've seen maybe about 7 or 8 great leaders, and they all have these 3 characteristics. First is goal-oriented and focused. As a leader, the reason why we are there, the leader is there, is to really have a goal. Why is the leader there? The leader is there to guide the team to accomplish a specific goal. So the leader should be goal-oriented and focused. He should be able to really keep an eye on the target. The second is be resilient. They are resilient. No matter what happened, no matter what is the storm, there's a storm, they are there. They are the very first person to meet the storm. It's like a bamboo, if you know the bamboo. The characteristic of a bamboo, the bamboo is flexible. Like it bows when there's a heavy wind. And then when there's no wind, it bounces back to being standing still, like a straight bamboo. And then when there's another wind, it bows down. But it never falls. It never falls. And as a leader, the leader finds a way to keep the momentum, the motivation of the team members, of the people under him. Because there will be chances wherein the journey will be very long. So what do we do to keep the people motivated? To keep the people interested? We should find ways to take a look at, do they need some trainings? Do they need some development? Do they need some activities like team building activities? Do they need a break? Because they are people. They need to take a rest. They need to take some time off. That's the reason why there are vacation leaves. There are also other activities for the team apart from just working. They have other extracurricular activities like basketball, um, soccer, something like that. And then there are also other clubs like outreach, other activities, get together. So they have this. And so a leader needs to be resilient in doing that. In 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 essence, he also needs to have innovation and creativity to build and keep the momentum because they will be together for a long time. Like if we're talking about leadership for operations, as long as the organization stays there, they will be together for a long time, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, maybe 40 years, right? And then another one is service oriented because the essence of a leader is to serve. So he needs to guide the team. He needs to take a look at what is needed to be able to have a good strategic plan. What does it what does it take to have a good strategic plan? Data gathering, working with people, getting their inputs, collaborating with everyone, doing coordination. And then for the people to follow, for the people to follow him, he needs to do some positive influencing. He needs to have a influence to them and then request or maybe give directions. Okay, we're going to have a meeting. This is what we're going to do. This is the direction that we're heading. The reason because there's a need for us to explain why we need a particular thing to happen. Yes, it's true that it has been mandated to the leaders that this needs to happen. But before we ask people to do a certain thing, it's best that we can explain to them so that they'll understand, so that they'll be able to get the rationality behind what they're supposed to do. And I had an example of this. Like there was a project, and it's a global project. It's about roll out of a particular project to different countries. And one leader was having hesitation to implement it. One leader for a particular country. And I was really like astonished why he's the only one who's complaining. The other 12 leaders, they're fine, but it's just him who keeps on complaining. So there are about 13, but there's one person who keeps on complaining. I had a chance to talk to him during lunchtime, and during our discussion, he mentioned, I got into the conclusion that the reason why he was having hesitation because he didn't know how is he going to discuss these matters back to his country and tell them we're going to make this change. Because no one explained to him why they need to implement that. Okay, so that's why he was having a hard time. But when he realized the rationality behind, he became one of the most supportive um, members of the team. So it's very necessary to explain to people why we need a particular task to be completed. Otherwise, they will not support. We will have a problem. So we need to also have influences. And at the same time, there will be cases wherein there are different deliverables that we need to complete, that we're not just working on one team. We need other teams. And for us to do that, we need to have an influence on them. So we need to explain to them okay, this is the deliverable that we're doing, and we need your team's help for this one. We cannot do this. We need your expertise. And I will need this particular person. Would you be able to ask that person to help me in this deliverable? Okay. So those are some of the discussions that we do as leaders. So service-oriented is the ability to see what is needed and to provide this to the group of people, team or community. The leader serves the team and guides the team to provide the service and influences the team to provide quality service or deliverable. In essence, as a leader, we know that we have to deliver, we have to complete a goal. We have to deliver something, whether it's a product, it's a service. We just need to complete something, and we need to ask our team for that. Now, it's not just about completing something. It's about also to deliver something that is of good quality. Quality service, good customer service, so that the clients will appreciate. The clients will appreciate what is being given to them. And so the clients will come again and again and again. So there will be repeatable service. There will be repeated customer requests. There will be an endless revenue. So it doesn't end in just one transaction. It's not a transactional relationship. It's an ongoing relationship. And not only that, we also need to give good deliverable. We just don't, someone is asking for this kind of deliverable. We just don't give him a deliver that is just completed, just, you know, as with what we're thinking, it's just completed. No, it's not like that. We need to give them something that's of good quality. For example, if just an example, if we're going to go to a grocery or to a coffee shop, when we buy a certain cookie or a certain cake, the cafeteria takes time to really pack it well, put it in a good packaging material so that it's given to you with a pleasing presentation. Okay? It's because you're buying something, not just the cookie, but even the brand, even their service. So there's an extra loving touch care. That's why they're giving this kind of presentation to the customer. It's an experience. We're not buying a product. We're buying the experience. When you go to certain cafeteria, coffee shop that's branded, we just don't buy the coffee. If you can see the packaging, the brand is printed very well, and it's given a coffee sleeve, a napkin, a nice paper mug. It's because of the experience. And it's just not the coffee, right? That's why they do that, because they want repeat customers. That's why we keep on going there. It's because of the service. It's because of the experience. Like when we stay in the coffee shop, we experience a good customer service. We experience a good ambience. We can stay there and read and have a good company with our dear friend, because it's the experience. Now, I'd like to share to you some of the tools, means, ways to become a servant leader, service-oriented leader. First is sensitive to the needs by gathering data. I mentioned earlier that as a leader, we need to provide planning, a strategic plan. And for us to do that, we need to be able to gather specific data, relevant data, so that we can plan. So we can know what are the requirements, what are the needs of our customer, so that we can be a good servant leader. We need to know the needs of our team. What development do they need? Do they need trainings? Do they need coaching? Do they need mentoring? When we lead a particular team, the team members are not equal. There are some senior and there are junior professionals. And for them to be able to complete the deliverables that are assigned to them, we are responsible to take a look at what trainings do they need, what tools do they need so that they can complete the deliverable. We have to take a look at that. It's not that they're assigned to our team and we just let them just do their thing. It is the responsibility of the leader to take a look at his own flock and his own team. So he needs to gather information also with the plan and also how to deliver, how to produce the deliverables or provide the service. Second is fact-based. He just doesn't gather any kind of data. He needs to make sure that these are facts and take the necessary measures to record any event, the progress, and also provide reporting to the management, reporting to the team. There will be periodic reporting, periodic meetings every week, probably, to gather all the progress that they have so that he'll be able to track what's happening and what needs to improve. And if there's any necessary steps that he needs to take to help someone. Third is decision maker. So there's this tool which we call RAID. It's risk, action, issues, decision log. Okay. So the leader will use this tool to enter those information at the same time the decisions. But at the same time, as a leader, he needs to make timely decisions. There will be cases wherein a leader needs to decide on a particular event or a certain system or a certain material that he needs to procure. And he needs to decide in a couple of weeks, in a couple of days, but not longer than that, because he will lose the opportunity and there will be additional cost. I'd like to share a particular example for being able to, about the importance of a decision maker, of being able to decide timely. There was a leader who keeps on holding the decision to purchase a particular system. And she held it long, like 2 years. She held it long for 2 years because for her, she would like to get more, spend more time to think about the investment. You know, the thinking time that she spent, which is 2 years, if we were to add all the opportunities that were lost, all the savings that were lost, it's like she already bought the system. So being able to decide fast, it's very, very important. Otherwise, you're just spending lots of, you cannot buy time back. You cannot buy. A time loss is cost spent. Next is servant leader, meaning it's a service. A leader serves. A leader is not a boss. Yes, this is true. It's a boss in the sense that his position is higher higher than the rest because he's the leader. That's true. But the leader is a servant. The leader serves. So he conducts meetings. At times, most of the time, he's the one also creating the minutes of the meeting, unless it's a very big organization and you have a secretary, that's fine. And 70% of the time, it's about coordination, making sure that things happen and talking to the right people whenever there's escalation, talking to the people to gather information, especially when there are issues and problems. The leader needs to talk to a lot of people to resolve this. Of course, it's necessary to roll up sleeves. There will be times that you're going to do the leg work, the dirty work. Okay. Next is to guide the team. So to guide the team, the leader needs to create a strategic plan. Okay. Step by step, what has to be done, and it has to be very clear and communicated to the team so that the team will be able to know what to do. That strategic plan will be their map. Okay. That's how they will navigate their day-to-day work. If the team doesn't know what to do, it's because of the leader. Okay. It's because of the leader. 6 is positive influence. The way we behave, the way we handle things, the way we handle our work, the way we treat people, that will be the model that the team will follow. So if the leader is behaving inappropriately, irresponsible, then chances are the team would be like that. I've seen organizations that it happened because the leader is acting differently. And I've also seen organizations wherein the leader is professional, and so the team is also professional. So the leader really sets the tone for the entire organization or community or school. Negotiator. The leader also negotiates. There will be times wherein we will be needing support coming from other teams, coming from other organizations, clubs, or other teachers, students. Then we need to negotiate and ask, do you think you can help me with this one? And I'll be able to help you with this one. How about talking to also to your team members? There will be times that they will be needing, they will need to provide extra hours. And so we will need to negotiate. Can we at least do this for like, can you extend 2 hours and then we can just offset it the next day? So these are discussions. These are some of the negotiations that really happen in real life. Next is monitoring and evaluation. So part of monitoring and evaluation, there are tools that can be used to monitor the activities of the team. Because as a leader, we need to know what's happening. And also to evaluate our tools, our processes. Are they still working? Or do we need to improve? Or do we need to replace something? At the same time, we need to also take a look at the performance of our team. Who needs mentoring and coaching? Okay. So if you have a pen and paper, I'd like to, by the way, do you have any questions?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Sure.
In leadership, we need to be sensitive to the needs of our team members, and also we need to keep in check how professional are they. But my question is, how much is delegation? Delegating the tasks is important as a leader. Uh, does leader have to perform the essential task him or herself, and how do we monitor uh, the completion of the task at hand? I mean,
Yeah.
and how can we even, ma'am, the second part of the question is, how can we even evaluate which person is that in our team should be trusted enough? I mean, what are the essentials of trusting anyone enough before handling any kind of important task to that member? Thank you, ma'am. These are my questions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Maybe I just ask what role do you have? Like, are you a leader right now, or what are you handling? Just for me to
Ma'am,
understand.
to be honest, right now I'm just serving as a lecturer in a university. However, I'm planning to um, uh, start up my own organization, specifically in the field of education. But these are some of the concerns that I have. I mean, I'm not sure what delegation plays a role in leader's life.
Okay.
So that, yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the question. My answer will be quite long. Okay, so bear with me.
Okay.
And please ask after I mention, answer. Please also ask follow-up questions. Okay, but this is how I will answer your question.
All right, ma'am. Thank you.
The reason why I asked what are you currently having right now, or what's your goal, is for me to answer it properly. Since you're going to start your organization, my suggestion would be come up with your mission and vision. What do you really need? What do you really want to happen? In knowing that, you'll be able to identify the skills that you need. Okay. If you would like to set up an organization of education, what kind of education, part of education would that be? Will it be about psychology? Would it be IT? What forte? What subject area? In knowing that, you'll be able to identify who are the people, what are the skill sets that you need. Now, when you be able to identify the skill set, you should be able to identify specific roles. Number one role, administration. Second role, purchasing or finance. Third role, lecturer, maybe. Fourth role, coordinator. Okay. Now, in identifying those, you should be able to define each role. What does the role, what's the responsibility of the particular role? You can describe, you need to be gender specific, or is it someone you can just have? What will be the educational attainment? You need to have that, or anyone with experience on that can be hired. Okay. Then about delegation. Once you have those roles and you hire someone, you already know who to put, right? In terms of delegation, what kind of role? There's a specific task attached to a role. So it's very easy to say, this specific task is for this role. And this role is assigned to this person. So Anna is the administration personnel, and she's delegated the task of recording all attendance because that's the role of the administration personnel. Okay. That's for the delegation. Another question that you have is monitoring on the performance.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. person need to build relationships. Okay. And you can get feedback from them from having one-on-one meeting with them, or spending lunch, or just spending some coffee chat with them. And I normally do these kinds of activities. For example, let's say I have about, one point in time, I would handle about 30 people, 31 people. But I know each one of them. Why? How? Why? Because it's important for me. I want to know each one of them so that I'll be able to know what do they need. I just want to help them. Because in helping them, they're also helping me, the organization, right? Because the reason why I am present in the organization is for me to do the job. And I can only do my job if I can provide the goal. And I can only do that if my team will be able to help me with that. Next, how? I will have one-on-one with them on a quarterly basis, like each one of them. That's why I know each one of them. I know their career aspirations and I help them to the point that in their career, I'll be able to tell them and mentor them. In terms of their performance, during the discussion that we have in the beginning, we will set the expectation. Okay, I will, I will have a discussion with them one-on-one, and then I'll let them know the expectations, and they will agree to that. And then another point in time, we will review whatever has been discussed. Have we done this? Have we done this? Have we done this? And I can also see from their work that they're doing that. Now, I don't wait for the time to come that I need to meet with them. Before I provide suggestions, criticism. Whenever they commit a mistake, I don't wait for another day, another week. I wait, I wait for the right time on that day, and I talk to them privately. I privately talk to them. I don't criticize people in public. I don't do that because that's very traumatic. So I would talk to the person privately and mentor, coach the person, ask the person what happened. And after our discussion, I just make it a point that the person will leave my desk, my office, with a smile on his face, with a smile on her face. I don't want them crying. Okay? And I would like it to be a positive experience for them because I want them to leave the project with learnings that they be able to lead themselves and others. So when that particular event happened, that person left smiling and motivated to work the next day. So that's one thing. Will be in terms of performance management, finding out how they're performing and providing improvement. Plus, if they're having some inadequate performance, I look at what available trainings are possible, and I let them get it. Because I will tell them, you don't need to know everything. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know parts of it. And I can help you get the training and have the training, practice, and just do it. There will be team members who will have a lower confidence level. As leaders, we need to build them up by providing them the assurance that everything will be okay. Because I would explain to them at one point in time, also place your what you're currently having. I mean, Before I became a leader, became an engineer. I studied how to write, how to do programming, how to design databases. I studied those. I did not know that it's like that in a snap. I have to learn them. So with that saying, you will be able to realize, yes, that's right. I should be able to learn it. And with all of this, all of them, they're able to learn new things. When in fact, when they started, they just know few things. Not all of them are seniors. Okay, so that's how we do performance management. Looking at what they know, measuring their performance, during expectations. You just write down what are the things that they need, and of course their criteria. Okay, and then they should be able to meet that criteria. If not, don't wait for the time for the performance measurement to come. As leaders, we need to be sensitive to their needs. They'll be falling short, that's true, but it is our responsibility to help them so that when performance measurement period comes in, then they'll be able to meet criteria. Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Very meticulously described, and you actually answered all my questions and all my queries in a very well balanced manner. And it was quite a satisfying answer. Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking out time to answer my questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Any other question? Uh, so I don't know if anyone was able to do the exercise here. Would you like to do the exercise? Like, okay, we identified these 8 items here. And what items do you think you need improvement yourself? Or if you're handling a team, if there's one thing that you think when you do something here, you can really make a difference based on your current circumstances, work or skills, what would that be? So you can take time to think about it. And if you have any questions, let me know. So if anyone has done this exercise, feel free to share your answers.
Ma'am, can I ask one more question? May I?
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, what's this written in brackets, decision maker? The bracket says rate law. Can you just explain what is it? I
Yes,
mean, I have no idea.
that's risk, action, issue, and decision log.
Can you just explain it a little further?
Okay, it's can you hold on for a while because someone is has sent me a message that he cannot enter the meeting.
All right.
Okay, I
All right.
just need to answer him for a while. I hope
Okay.
you okay.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, sure. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Okay. Wait on for a while.
Hello, can you hear me?
I am.
Can we end today meeting?
I think I have a pending question, so I
Okay.
need to answer first.
Okay.
Yeah, are you in a hurry, or can I finish this like for a while?
Okay, no issue.
Okay. So the question is about RAID. Okay. So RAID is a risk, action, issue, and decision log. It's it's a tool that we use so that the person will be able to list down the different kind of risk or possible problems, and then list down all the action items, and then any problems, plus all the decisions that have been considered, so that when a particular uh, misunderstandings happen, you can always refer. I give you an example. We had a case wherein the customer keeps on telling that this was the one that she has requested. Okay. And there was a long discussion about that. When I learned about it, I looked at the decision, this one, the raid log. When I look at that, there was a decision that came from her that she wanted it to be this way. That's why the direction of the team went to that, um, actually completed the deliverable based on that. So I showed her that this was her decision, and so the team completed the deliverable that way. So when she saw that, she kept quiet already. So this one is very important. Okay. I
Yes,
hope that
ma'am.
I
Thank
answered
you.
your.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for answering all my questions.
That's all
And
right.
I thoroughly enjoyed the entire session. And I learned a
Okay.
lot today. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I shared my. Where's, yeah, I will share my contact later. Okay. So I don't know if anyone has answered this exercise, but I hope you've tried to answer this. Okay. So I'll move on to the next slide. So just a reflection, being service-oriented is necessary to succeed as a leader. What we demonstrate every day is what the team will see. That's why, you know, what they see in us, they will follow. So if we show laziness, if we show lack of service or concern for the needs of others, for the customer, they will do the same. They be will not be courteous. They will not be supportive. Okay? So asking them to perform their duties and be responsible will not happen, or their performance will be below average because they're looking at us. As leaders, we are mindful of what we exhibit in our teams and others. As leaders, we use facts and information to create strategic plan, to guide the team, and we use our influence to make things happen. Okay? We monitor what's happening, and we evaluate if there's a need to change in our plan or strategies. We are sensitive to what is needed in our team, also for our clients, for our customers. We find ways if they can be addressed as long as it falls within our boundaries or scope. We are not heroes. We cannot save the entire world. It's just within our scope. And we use the necessary tools to do our job effectively. And we guide our team what we can do, what tool to use, and what can be improved. But at the end of the day, we have to remember that we thrive in a community of people and we need to work well with other people. That's what leaders are made for. Also, I'd like to share humility is the foundation of leadership. It's having the ability to listen to our people. I understand that as leaders, they are placed in that high position because they have achieved so much in life. But as leaders, a lot of leaders that I've known, the good ones, they're very humble. And they listen to the people beneath them. They listen to the suggestions, their criticisms, because that's the way that the leader will be able to perform better. And they know that they're not perfect. There will always be a room for improvement. They always make it a point to improve themselves. They're not stagnant. They do not stop from learning. They keep on having trainings. We don't know that, but the truth is, okay, I've seen them. I've worked with them. They are always having trainings. Next is camaraderie. The reason why there's a leader, it's because there are a lot of people that needs to be led. So it's about fellowship and working with people. Working not just within the team, also with others. Because remember, we live in a community, so we need to work with others well. It leads to positive outcome. Third is rapport. Harmonious relationship brought by good communication, the way we communicate with people. There's courtesy, cooperation, mutual trust, and understanding. So we trust that our team, they're doing their job. Okay? Even if we delegate things to them, and we ask them, are you okay? Are you fine? How's your work? If they say yes, we just trust them. And then we monitor how their output is, because that's where the real thing happens. And if we feel that they're performing below than average, then we need to talk to them and ask them, how are you doing? I think you may need to have this kind of training because it will help you on this one. And then you agree both together that is going to get a training for that. And chances are after that training, you will perform better. In summary, as a leader, we accept ourselves, that we are humble enough to know that we are not perfect, but willing to do what it takes to improve ourselves. So we can be kind of leader who has the knowledge, the skills, and attitude, and values to lead a team. And most of all, we work well with others because we thrive in a community of people. And we do what it takes to make things happen. Today, we covered the key principle of iceberg and self-assessment and being a service-oriented leader. May I know if you have other questions? So what did you find valuable during this session? Anything you'd like to share?
Ma'am, may I share?
Sure.
I'm again the same person. I'm Sidra, who actually just asked so many questions before as well, and you answered so well. I'm really very thankful to you for that. So there are many valuable things that I learned from this session, and the key one is that we need to be mindful of the needs of our teammates. We need to know what kind of, even if they're having any kind of loopholes, we need to identify them and to give them appropriate training in order to help them and to make our organization grow. That's what my key learning is amongst all the learnings that I had today. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, because I only learned that because I didn't really know about that before. Eh, But I also learned it along the way. But thank you for
Yeah,
sharing,
exactly.
Sidra. Thank you.
Okay,
And
thank
I
you. Thank you,
really
ma'am.
wish you well. I really,
Oh,
really
thank you
wish
so
you well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. That's so nice of you.
Thank you. So, by the way, I'd like to share. I have an assessment, but I don't have it right now. But if you can send me your, you can email me. I can send to you the self-assessment. It's a series of questions to let you know if you're ready to be a project manager.